something has been lost in this relationship. And I think that a lot of you are considering on what the best course of action is going to be. But the thing is I think that you hold true to your values as well as this other person. I think that they're more fully committed. Although I do think that with the Page of Swords being the overall here, there are some things that are going to come out that may leave you with some questions. But I also think that for some of you, you may be dealing with a situation where there are people instigating, which can be possible here. But the thing is the person that you're dealing with is trying to release this burden and kind of like clear things up with that Ace of Swords for sure. And where it leads is somewhere very good. But it's because of information that comes out that something's been lost with the relationship. But I also think that, you know, like I said, if we're talking about somebody who's instigating, it could be the rejection of, you know, another person here that may be involved. But I always look at the Page of Swords as that kind of news that we don't want to get. And it can also show that we have questions that we're just not getting direct answers to. So you coming into this with the Emperor, whether you're male or female here, I think that what you're trying to show this person is that now it's time for me to kind of like take the lead. I think that they are coming from a place of having a lot of stuff kind of like built up on them. And I think that, you know, they're wanting to clear things up. It really, to me, it looks like I didn't mean to bring this burden into the relationship. But they almost feel like they don't know what to do. And this is where you step up and take control here. But with the Fool, you completely have faith and trust with this person, with their Ace of Swords and them being very open and truthful about what has been going on with them, what has been weighing on them. But they're in a place where there are some things that I don't think that they can take care of anymore. And they're looking to you to kind of like help them get control. I don't think that you're doing the whole my way or the highway or being overly forceful. I think that it's because of what they're bringing into this that you're having to step up. But like I said, with the Fool, you have faith with this person. You're all in. We'll see where things go. I don't think that you have any hesitations as long as you're in control of how things move forward. I almost feel like this is an outside influence, but I feel like it's more attached to their side than it is you. That or it's just some information that may have been like weighing on them, but unfortunately you may have heard it through, you know, somebody else rather than them, if that makes sense. You moving into the Four of Wands though, and them showing the Ace of Cups, this is like they're being given another chance, I feel like, with you. And I think that you're getting to a place where we're starting to see a little bit more stability once you have taken control. But because of something that's being lost in this relationship with the Five of Pentacles, there is a question on how do I move forward with this? The opportunity is definitely there. I do believe that they definitely want to have this new beginning and they want to, you know, refill the cup, so to speak, which I've been feeling a lot lately with that Ace of Cups. But, you know, with the Hierophant, we're talking about is sticking to the traditional values, staying, you know, committed to what the values are in the relationship. You know, I don't think that we're talking about you dealing with a married person here. I think that some of you are in a very committed relationship with this person. But there's something going on here that it's like, you know, you were left out of. And I think that you are understanding why. But I also think that there is a part of you going, you know, kind of going back and thinking, did I take the right course of action in trying to gain stability with this? And that may be the problem because this person is holding up the show here. But like I said, for Cancer, it's like you're holding true to this. I don't think that they're going back on their commitment. But I almost feel like a level of like self-blame for this situation because it should have been over with. This chapter should have been over with. And I think that you're in a place where you're going to have to consider, you know, how are we moving forward here? You've already gotten to a place of stability, but this is an issue that still prevails, like coming out between you and this person. It's not that easy to just like forget that this happened, you know? But I really do think it's about a situation where you've gotten information not directly from this person and they should have like, you know, told you this before, but it's not like they were trying to keep a secret or anything, but clearly it's something that's been weighing on them. But, you know, when you take control of the situation, things appear to get better. But, you know, Cancer, you can't hold on to the past. And I know I've said this to you before. Now, the King of Pentacles, and as far as the Hierophant, what I worry about here is that you may be starting to realize that they're looking at you as like the fixer, so to speak. You know, the provider here, the stable one, the dependable one. But this is nothing new. These are the places that you've already been with the Six of Cups. And again, the past is an issue, right? Stop going back to the places that you've already been with this relationship. You know, so this has happened more than once. But I think that they're looking at you this way with the King of Pentacles and then with the Hierophant because of you coming into this with the Emperor, whether you're male or female. Now, they, though, I think, I kind of feel self-punishment. I do. I feel like there's a part of them that feels, you know, like really insecure or like they need to step it up a little bit because it's like they need to match you in being able to handle their own situations. But with the World, like I said, this is a situation that should have been over with. Like they should have done what was necessary to get closure on it, but all of a sudden now they're doing it. But this should have been over with before you even, you know, started building the relationship. Why is it that we're taking a step back? You know what I mean? And it's no wonder why you're here. Like, okay, so, you know, which way am I supposed to go? If this is nothing new and, you know, this chapter is not coming to a close, but it's because it's this person's responsibility, what do you do? But if they're doing self-punishment, they're holding up the show here unnecessarily. And for you, it's like, well, you know, I can't get past the way that they're thinking and the way that they're seeing things. So how are we going to move forward? How do we get back what's been lost in this relationship, right? But I would say to you, don't get so caught up in, you know, this whole idea of maybe I should take a different path or a different course of action here. Or maybe I shouldn't have, you know, started this over again. You know, because again, Cancer, you got to let go of the past, right? You got to let that chapter come to a close, but maybe it's you in your own mind that can't get past that because of what's been lost. And you may be actually putting them in a state of limbo if they're not doing self-punishment. But I feel that a little bit. I do. Like they have a responsibility to start stepping it up here and start becoming a little bit more responsible instead of, you know, looking to you to solve all their problems. You know, but it's up to you, right? Like we can let this go and not revisit the past anymore and have this beautiful new beginning. Or we can still be focused on what's been lost, you know? Can you get it back? Do you feel like you can get it back and get closure on this situation? You know, and maybe free yourself is saying that. Maybe this is something that you need to walk away from. But clearly there is going to be an opportunity to have a new beginning here where passion is being brought back up with the Ace of Wands. We're having this emotional encounter with the Knight of Cups. But the thing is that you're in a place right now where this is normal. This is a routine that you are going through in your love life. There is, you know, and with the Devil, man, this is obsession for sure, especially with the Nine of Pentacles here. And what I would say to you is, Cancer, if you're obsessed with a person right now, I don't know that they can actually fix the wrongs that they have done. Now, you're not really single, though, if you're still keeping yourself tied to this or to this person. You know, and that's why I feel like free yourself is saying that maybe enough is enough here, right? The Nine of Pentacles, again, it's going to be about somebody who is obsessed, especially with the Devil. It like intensifies it. They want to be in a relationship with you, but you don't want to call it a relationship, especially if you're dealing with somebody who, you know, is constantly giving into their own temptations with the Devil. You know, but again, it's an unhealthy attachment, an unhealthy situation. The Nine of Wands and the Four of Cups, constantly trying to fix some issues here that they just can't seem to fix. And this is nothing new. It's the same routine with this person. But there is a new beginning that's coming out here. And with the Knight of Cups, yeah, it's, one of those ones where emotionally, I think you get tied into it, right? You have a passion for this person. You want to see a new beginning with them. Yeah, and then you have the Three of Cups. But the thing is, I don't know. I feel both. I feel like looking at this coming out that, yeah, absolutely, you can have a new beginning with this situation if you want to. But if this is the same thing that happens over again, who's to say that this isn't going to repeat itself? So there is a part of me that wants to say that, to heal your broken heart here, maybe you need to step away from this person instead of constantly looking to them to like fix an issue here and going through the same thing over again. But it's up to you, right? And Temperance, we're just kind of like slowly letting things build here. All of it does not look that bad, but because of Free Yourself, I feel like for some of you, I need to say enough is enough. Enough is enough. We can't keep going through the same routine. You should be single. You should be free. You should be able to, experience other people, other situations and relationships, but we're doing the same thing. We're just doing the same thing with this person, trying to fix these issues. But because of the connection, it's not that easy for you to just, let go. Now, for some of you, yeah, this could be, a situation here where we get to mend some issues with the Three of Cups because it's not bad. But how many times are you going to have to deal with this person needing to fix your broken heart? That's my question. Maybe something else is worth waiting for. Cancer, And again, if you're happy in your relationship, you don't need to be watching this because this ain't for you. In the past, you've got jealousy and cheating going on with the Tower and somebody who is being very pushy with the Eight of Cups. Now, I get the feeling here that this isn't something that is going to be easy for you to let go of because you were put in a position here with the Queen of Pentacles where you've had to take care of yourself because of this situation. Okay. Now, it could be that we're dealing with somebody who is jealous of a relationship that you are in and they're being pushy toward you, toward your partner. But I don't know. I'm looking at another opportunity with the wheels. So things are changing, hopefully in a positive way here. But, looking at the Seven of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups, this is going to be because of somebody wasting it. Okay? The Queen of Pentacles, I think, is going to be you in this situation where you're feeling like this person just can't satisfy you. They make an attempt, but they're not trying very hard. The Seven of Pentacles is about being lazy, right? And with the Ten of Cups, they may think everything is okay, but for you, it's just not good enough. But I'm interested in this pushiness here with the Eight of Cups. And it's very different than like the King of Pentacles because there's the emotional tie or attachment. This person is still there, but they don't want to be pushed to do anything that doesn't feel right for them, especially if this happened in the past where there was, the cheating, jealousy, whatever. And then you have the Page of Wands. That one I've been seeing way too much too. But, this is one of those things where it's like, you may not be fully happy with this person, but because of the passion that you have for them, you may be looking past the fact that they're just kind of like lazy, and that may be worth waiting for where that's coming in. Maybe they start to step it up a little bit, especially if they're given an opportunity here that is going to help the relationship go in a better direction, I feel like, with the Ace of Pentacles. But I really feel like it's you creating this for them. They have an opportunity here with the Wheel of Fortune, but that's because you're opening up and letting them have it, even though there is a part of you that was kind of like left to figure things out on your own almost. But like I said, with the Three of Wands, there's still very much, the connection with this person, a lot of feelings, right? But the thing is, man, you did wrong. You did wrong here. And it's not that easy to look past. But the thing is the way that you feel about this person is something that can't be denied. But you can't look past everything, But if you have a passion for this person, then maybe it is worth waiting for. maybe we will get to a place where you are very happy with them, but they're going to have to put in more effort.